Alright, today I'm going to show you guys my top 5 baits for the month of September that flat out get bit and they catch big fish, bigger than average sized bass that everyone else around you is catching. So we're going to kick off with the spinner bait. There's different types of spinner baits, as all of us know. I like to throw bigger spinner baits than normal, so I tend to throw the 3/4 ounce double willow War Eagle spinner baits. I throw a 3/0 trailer hook on the back of it. Certain situations I'll put the Indiana and Colorado together, and I won't throw a trailer hook on there. I'll put a soft plastic swim bait trailer on there to give it more bulk. I can work this bait a little bit slower. And then here's the big one is a War Eagle Wake spinner bait, 1/2 ounce. I don't normally throw a soft plastic trailer on it. I just throw a 3/0 trailer hook on it and basically either fish it like a normal spinnerbait or I burn it in just below the surface, basically bulging it just below the surface. And I throw these spinnerbaits on a 7'6" medium heavy rod with at least a gear ratio of 6:8:1. I like to tend to go with a little bit slower gear ratio than most folks. That is, I'm throwing that on 20-pound fluorocarbon. The alternative for that, now that's only when it's cloudy in the morning or late in the evening I throw that bait. If it's sunny out, I'm going to go with a Dirty Jigs swim jig. I got some of my favorite colors here, which is a bluegill, warmouth, yellow perch, in the California swim jig. I like the bigger baits because they overall get bigger bites. The hook strength on this I've never had one bend it out, and that's been my problem when I put it on straight braid and fish around grass. I have a lot of fish come up and eat those KVD Strike Kings. The Strike King Hack Attack swim jigs, you can get away with those. I just basically use either a swim bait trailer on there and I dip the tail in chartreuse, or I use a craw type of a bait like a rage craw, and I try to color match it with the skirt, and then I dip the pinchers in usually orange dye. Yeah, other than that, that's the swim jigs. Pretty cut and dry. These, a lot of people don't like to fish these. They were stupid to me when I first started out, but I finally found a company that I could stand by. And yes, this is top of the line swim jigs right here. They catch giant fish. When it's sunny out, I throw a spinnerbait all day long back in the day, and I used to not get bit. So I figured out that if I was to throw a bait that doesn't flash and look so loud in the water during the sunny period of the day, and go with something more natural, as in like a swim baits type looking lure, I think you'll do a lot better off. This is what I'm talking about. Color matching it, totally looks like a bluegill. You throw that anywhere in all 50 states, even though they don't have bass in Alaska, but you throw this in all 49 states and you'll whack a bass in it, I guarantee it. I normally fish this on fluorocarbon, 20-pound, same 7'6" medium heavy rod. If I fish around heavy grass with the swim jig, I'm gonna throw it on 65-pound braid. Next bait is going to be a buzz bait. My first choice is going to be a single bladed buzz bait made by War Eagle Buzz Toad. Buzz bait is the name of it. Has a horny toad on it. I rock a 3/0 trailer hook on it. Yeah, it just flat out gets bit. You have to fully commit to a bait like this to see results. I'll throw this bait for 10 hours straight and catch, 10 to 15 to 20 fish on it. The alternative to that is if it's really windy, I like to throw this big red. This is a Picasso 3/4 ounce buzzsaw buzz bait. I throw a 3/0 trailer hook on it. I do rig it with a horny toad, I usually chop the legs off or pinch them off because they usually get all fouled up. And I do thin out some of the strands of the skirt around the blade so it doesn't keep fouling up inside the blade. I throw this on a 7'6" heavy action rod on 65-pound braid. I try to go with a 6:3 to 1, a slower gear ratio. I get a lot more bites with slower gear ratio than a fast gear ratio. Keep that in mind. So that's buzzbait. That's 2 lures down. Now we're gonna get to a frog. September, you have a lot of vegetation still left over. As it's starting to just die back, you start to really notice it towards the end of the month. This is a Spro King Daddy frog made by Dean Rojas. It weighs 1 ounce. It is a beast of a frog, but I catch so many 4-pound plus fish on this compared to a normal sized frog that everybody else uses. So this is my frog lure. The alternative to the frog lure is one that actually runs. So it has a tail, plops. These are like weedless whopper ploppers. These are called Teckle Sprinkler frogs. They're very cool. You can home make some of them, like I have. Homemade a magnum size out of a old King Daddy frog. You can simply do that with just minor stuff. You can pick up a 3-way swivel, oversized split ring, and one of those little screw lock things that's heavy duty. This one obviously is. I just cut the legs off. I even super glued where the leg holes are so nothing could really get in there. Sealed it up pretty nice. These are just run of the day Teckle Sprinkler frogs that get bit. The bodies, the hooks on these frogs sit away from the body, so it doesn't require a out of the shoe type of a hook set, like a really vicious hook set, as compared to this one where it sits tight to the body. It's a normal style frog, and so it requires a different hook set than these do. But I just try to set the hook hard every time. Less lost fish, and you're better off in the end. Again, I fished this on a 7-foot medium heavy, just a run-of-the-mill standard rod. Just a gear ratio 631, 681, somewhere around there. I'd try to go no more than about 7 to 1. And these frogs shine. These also could be fished on spinning rod, spinning gear with a braided line on there. Even if you can't afford braid, you got to settle for a monofilament. You could still fish these on monofilament. I would just do a couple more clicks on your drag to compensate for the stretch. This big beast of a frog I fish on a 7'3" medium heavy Mach 2 rod. I could sling this frog pretty good on that rod. A little tongue twisted there. And the next number 4 bait, that's 3 baits down. Number 4 bait is going to be a jerk bait. I'm not a guy that's going to spend $25 on a stupid Megabass Vision 110 when I can either buy a 6 cents Provoke 106 SS or SV, I think it is. It's one of those, but it's a Provoke 106 made by 6 cents. I think it's a wasabi is the color scheme of this. It flat out catches fish. I normally have my jerk baits. All of these jerk baits, or most of these jerk baits, are going to be Strike King KVD 300s along with a few 200s. So anytime I come across some different kind of water or I'm fishing for smallmouth, I'm going to use that bubblegum colored one. I know you're thinking it's pink, but we're going to pronounce it as bubblegum here in the world of fishing. I'm just kidding. Anyway, you can see some of these are chewed up. These are all KVD 300s and a few of the 200s. I got a lot of the IU. That's a really hot color. Other than that, That is the jerk bait, and I throw the jerk bait on a setup I happened to find at Walmart one day. Yes, Walmart. Shimano makes this combo. It's you can probably still find it online at walmart.com. It's highly recommended. I'm gonna show you guys what the rod and all that stuff is. It's like the perfect jerkbait rod. I paid $97 for this combo, and I've had some really good days on it. I put 12-pound P-Line Tactical fluorocarbon. It's a little bit more expensive, but to me it's top of the line fluorocarbon. Up to 20-pound I think they make. I don't think they make anything higher than 20-pound. If they did, I would change all my fluorocarbon to that. So that is jerk baits down. So that is number 4 bait. Next bait is going to be swim baits, and I have Magdraft and 8-inch and a 10-inch, both in IU, because IU is just a supernatural bait fish color that you can see in all 50 states, even though bass only exist in all 49 states. But so we got the Megabass Magdraft. These are pretty expensive. This is a $40 lure. This is a $25, $30 lure, something like that. They have internal harnesses with big old treble hooks on it. They have an internal system with a magnet that really sucks. It does not hold the freaking treble hook. It is what it is. The eyeballs do not stay there. They will knock the snot out of it, and both eyeballs will fall off. But the bait themselves are pretty damn durable. I've caught over 40 fish on a bait before it was snapped off by a double-digit fish. Earlier, late spring it happened, right before the summer. I fish this on an 8-foot rod. It's a 13 fishing to 5 black swim bait rod, extra heavy, 8 foot. It's extra heavy. You can throw baits 8 to 14 ounce class. I fished it on a Johnny Morris Signature Series size 30, which is equivalent to a 300 size reel. I spool it with 30-pound fluorocarbon. I think it's Sunline fluorocarbon. I always have an 8-inch tied on, and I always have a 10-inch tied on. You can see the 10-inch has got chewed up. If you haven't seen any of my other Magdraft videos, you should go through my longer length videos and check them out. I've caught them up to about 6.5 pounds on this. I've even caught a 2-pound dumb fish on this. A 2-pound bass on it, on a 10-inch bait. Alright, the final bait. That was number 4 bait, swim baits. Number 5 bait is going to be a crankbait. And I have a 6th Sense Wake. I think it's a Movement 80X Wake. It's a wake bait. It just bulges right underneath the surface. It's got some crazy ass eyes on it at nighttime. When you see them eyes staring at you, when you happen to turn on a light, when you get that thing close to the boat, you can see those eyes just glowing. It's crazy. It's trippy, definitely. Anyway, I fish either that kind of a style of a crankbait, like a wake crankbait, just below the surface or right near the surface, or I'm gonna fish a just a regular normal 80X Movement by 6th Sense and red crawl pattern. It flat out, you get some very vicious strikes on it. I fish these crankbaits due to them weighing a little bit heavier than a normal crankbait. Normal crankbaits usually weigh about 3/8 to ½ ounce. These ones straight out of the package weigh 5/8. You don't have to change anything about the hooks. The hooks are great. They hold fish. They're still catching fish. So that one I throw it on a 7-foot medium heavy with 17-pound fluorocarbon on it. Once again, I'll up the dollar amount on the fluorocarbon, go for the little bit more expensive fluorocarbon. I will buy that tactical P-line, or that P-line tactical fluorocarbon, 17 pound. Scott Martin was the one that put me onto that fluorocarbon. It's a kick-ass fluorocarbon. Anyway, that will go on a medium heavy 7-foot rod, 17 pound fluorocarbon. When stuff is tough for this bait, I'll pick this one up and I'll put this on a 7-foot medium action rod with 12 pound fluorocarbon on it. And this little dude, this is a Crush 50, 6 cents Crush 50 in a red craw. This thing will get bit. I think it weighs 3/8 of an ounce. It's perfect. When I really want to get down and dirty, I'll throw a massive Strike King 8.0 square bill. This thing is a beast. It's actually like almost the size of a grenade. I've caught a PB smallmouth on this at Lake Washington in 28 feet of water. When I throw this bait, I'll throw it on 7'6" heavy action rod on 65 pound braid, and I'll make country mile long casts, and I'll grind that son of a gun down. I'll burn it. It's a very effective way to catch a giant fish that normally doesn't see stuff like that. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for the video. That is my 5 baits for the month of September with its alternatives as well. Happy fishing to you guys. Hopefully you guys whack a PB this month. If not, you still got October coming up. That's my favorite month of all months. Topwater's coming down to an end, so get out and fish some last minute topwater. And be ready when you catch that fish. Have a scale, have your camera ready. Be ready, stay ready. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you for watching. Swimbait79 out.